Raptoreum community. I'm Hunter Schultz. Welcome to another update. And on my left, my left, is Raptoreum's co-founder David Owen Morris for one of his appearances. We're glad to
Yeah,
have you. How are you?
yeah. Feels good to be here.
Good, good, good.
Uh,
It's morning where
It's been
I'm
a
at.
while since I've been on.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't been streaming quite as regularly. I mean, we've had a few technical problems. We've had Paul on holiday. He's just come back from holiday. A couple of technical issues with the Twitter account we're still looking into as well. They should get sorted out fairly soon. And I know Hunter has a plan for kicking that up a notch.
This is true. This is true. Before I go into that, our socials are listed in the description. We're working on the Twitter thing, or the X account. More on that in a bit. So let's start off with what's going on. Just because we've been quiet over the last 3 or 4 weeks does not mean we have not been busy. There has been an enormous amount of work going on, and there's some real fundamental changes here that we're quietly optimistic. Actually, I've been bouncing off my chair because it's been been enlightening, to say the least. So here's the deal. We are bringing in the IP protection services closer to RTM. I don't know if I'd call it a son, maybe a very close relative, a cousin, if you will. Not a new blockchain, but I'll explain. So what we're doing is we're, by bringing this in-house and doing it ourselves, so to speak, we are enabling a number of things. And so the biggest thing, the biggest news, if you will, we're converting what's essentially a blockchain challenge into a business opportunity. And let me explain that. So we're selling a service, as you know, the IP protection services brand, Vray, and proof of authorship. Those are business services. And blockchain, for at least Vray and also the brand protection, blockchain doesn't enter the picture. It's not on the site. It's not part of the narrative. You go in, you don't see it. It's working the way we've talked about this a long time ago, and I've mentioned it before, that it's there, it operates, and the customer
It's
doesn't see it.
part of the tech stack on the back end.
Yes. So here's what we're doing.
Some
So,
people also call this Web 2.5 rather than Web 2 or Web 3.
okay, there you go. So again, while Paul's been on vacation, a well-deserved one, and also his birthday, so happy birthday, Paul. Binary, that is. Here's what we've done. So we brought all the IP services inside to one site. Before it was on three different sites. So we're going to have one back end to work with. And we already have the domain name, which is rtmanchor.com. And what we're working on now is the back end in terms of doing an LLC, which we're doing, I'm doing. And then we're working on, because I'm a US citizen, we're doing it in Wyoming, it's easier for me to do it. We're working on the banking and also the payment processor. And the banking, and that, it's all sorting itself out, very happy with that. And so we're starting with the brand records and Vray records for voice. And then right after that will be proof of authorship. So one of the things that I did in terms of I just revisited a lot of the points that we've discovered over many, many months. And we refined the user experience. Our beta tester showed us a lot, and I went through it, and I thought, well, let's take the experience we have and change our outlook. What can we do better? So we reduced friction, and that meant we got rid of the ID portion, which for brand is not really needed. And even for voice, did a little more research, and it turns out that the ID, doing the government ID check, really is, when you have the credit card receipt and the bank statement showing that you paid for it, then in court that's just traditional court documents, so to speak. So admissibility isn't affected by that. If we find that they want that or it's needed, we can implement it, because we'll have Stripe as a payment processor, and it's Stripe identity that we use. So for now, we're going with one step, which is they create their asset, they pay for it with suitable language, and we're good to go. So there's one major step to eliminate. So the friction has gone down dramatically. The other thing that we're doing is we're going to charge a fixed fee per record, and it's less than $20. So right now the target is about $19. And this is where it gets very interesting. Recall that when someone creates a record, they are paying fiat. They're paying dollars or euros or whatever when they go online. And we wind up with fiat. And so now it changed. This is where the game changing comes in. You may already know this, but a long, long time ago, Ray Kroc, who's the founder of McDonald's, he knew that one of the first things that gets cut in downtimes is marketing. And McDonald's has in their corporate bylaws that 5% off the top is dedicated to marketing. So there's always a marketing budget. There's always a way of promoting the business. And so that's exactly what's going to happen. 5% off the top after the payment processing is allocated to marketing. How that works, we can hire a marketing firm at some point. It'll pay for news releases. We can do more with this. And that's a real positive step. So the next big news, if you will, is we now have a budget to be able to take somewhere between $4 and $6 right now as per record to pay developers, the RTM, the Raptoreum developers. And those who are basically RTM developers, that fund will cover development costs for Raptoreum, different from RTM Anchor, of course, until we have a block development reward. So when that starts covering it, then we can use that for other things. So anyway, that is a pretty big deal. After that, after the dev block reward is sustaining what we do, we can use it for liquidity or exchange listings. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. But this is a pretty big deal. We're also exploring new ways to raise funds for Raptoreum growth as we roll out RTM Anchor. David and I have been talking about doing some brainstorming, hybrid offering, and I'm not going to go into too much into it, but we have a way of now with this fiat funding, we have a way of sweetening the pie for a lot of different things. Meaning we can devote a portion of that $18, $19, $20, whatever we're going to do, to whatever. So we have some flexibility here that we did not have before. And by the way, I did a little research on this, and if you know of something that's similar, I'd love to know about it. There's no one else out there in the space that I found anyway that has this capability, because they don't really have a business use case. That's the majority of the blockchains out there. They're doing, I don't want to say stupid stuff, but anyway. So we have a real rarity here, and we're going to capitalize on it. And I think all in all, we're setting a good new standard. And this enables us to have a lot more flexibility, because now we have cash flow coming in, or we'll have cash flow coming in from it. But the good news is, in all this, keep in mind what used to be simply a blockchain challenge, whether it's selling NFTs or whatever. Now that's not part of the picture anymore, so to speak. What we have is a business opportunity, and that's just selling brand protection and then performer, including voice, AI protection, AI permissions, and that's a completely different thing. In fact, the community, it's so much easier for the community to just go out, all of you to go out and join forums. And if someone's just started a business, you can say, well, be sure and get your brand story recorded, because if you do become more successful, you're going to want to record. You're going to do official registration for trademark. That's all you really have to say. So this is very easy. So the community can make a direct contribution by just letting people know this is what you need to do. So that's where it gets very exciting, and we simplified a lot of things. There's going to be more about this coming out in the next few weeks, and yeah, we're kind of chomping at the bit, but we think even though there's a bit of a delay, the trade-off here is enormous, and it sets us on a completely different track from a lot of other blockchains. And David, if you want to chime in and your observations.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, because we're bringing the business use case in closer to the main project, and that's going to open up some doors in terms of funding, product development, general business development moving forward, and so on. It's the way to do it, I believe, without taking on a ton of outside capital and basically giving away our integrity and everything along those lines at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm sure over the next month or so we're going to come up with other. It's opened up a new door, and we've stepped through this door, and we're already discovering things that we have more flexibility on, and we can create more opportunities. Instead of saying to someone, here's some RTMs, we have this new avenue to approach. So
we have, instead of just being coins with coin-based use cases, we are a part of the business solution for a lot of people.
Yep.
And we're affordable enough that even smaller businesses can easily afford to participate.
Yes, indeed. So, and I think it's a good. The other thing is that the combination here is really quite extraordinary, because you have that web, what you mentioned, Web 2.5. This is a sterling example of where blockchain can do a lot of good, and it sits under the covers. It just is there. It operates. It does its thing, and it's not part of the user experience, and that's a huge deal. And the way things are being designed, you don't see it. We eliminated even the last vestiges of that with the wallet. So anyway, that's where we're going. David, you were in Kuala Lumpur not that long ago. What was going on there?
I've just come back from the KL Blockchain Week. I mean, it was very active. There were a lot of busy people there. But at the same time, it's gotten a fair bit smaller than it was last year. And I expect that most of the coming crypto events over the rest of the year, they're going to be somewhat reduced in size because of, general global economics at the moment. And there not really being too much space left for sort of the more gaslighty type of projects that we see more in the Web3 space than in the blockchain space. That's
a question.
Quite a few things have come up down there. We're in talks with different projects about working with them jointly on different things. So we'll see how it all goes. It's been fun to be down there, meet a lot of other blockchain people again, see them. Unfortunately, it also got somewhat politicized here with certain parts of the show hosting being considered inappropriate. Let's put it like that. Some of the DJs they booked and other entertainment, but it still managed to do rather well. There was a small blockchain summit afterwards, more for Web3 based projects. Justin Sun and people like that were here, quite a few other people, but overall it's been okay.
Would you say, I've mentioned this before in updates, that uh, I personally view the space as becoming more sophisticated, that the, the, the more experienced people are sticking around, and the people who are dabbling in it have left or are leaving. They've either gotten burned or because they invested in things that just.
I mean, a lot of the gaslighty side of the space is dying, and that's a good and healthy thing for the long term.
Yep. Yep.
So let's see how it goes and where it goes. There are still a lot of very large projects in the space that have made promises they really can't deliver on because they're trying to reinvent the wheel, both in terms of smart contracts, networking interactions, how it all settles and stuff like that. But they still haven't, for example, taken into account a lot of the commentary that's been registered with the OCC in regards to the Clarity Act. The OCC is the Office of the Controller of the Currency in the US, and they're a lot different from, like, for example, the SEC or FTC. They are exclusively concerned with what's money and how money should work and banking regulations for the main part. And I don't believe for a second, after I've seen the commentary that's on there, that they're going to let any EVM blockchains participate in any meaningful sense regarding anything. I don't believe they're going to let Solana participate in any meaningful sense regarding anything. I'm not saying that we're an alternative, because we're not. We also have the same problem, which is probabilistic outcomes. A probabilistic outcome means that if I pay a higher fee on my transaction, miners will prioritize my transaction higher, and I've got a good chance of being faster than even a slightly later transaction. No, sorry, slightly earlier transaction with a lower fee. And that's not how money is supposed to work. That's not how banking is supposed to work. It's supposed to all be deterministic, which means there's supposed to be a set order of things, first in, first out, processing, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to fizzle. And we'll see where things go from there.
Yeah.
So I think there's more disappointment in store before things get better. But I hope I'm wrong.
Well, that's something that, again, I just loop back to the first thing I've asked along the way is, when I look at a blockchain, what's the use case? How's it going to be used? And that better be real strong, and the foundation of that better be real strong. So, and I waited to ask the question about the mood, if you will. What was the mood at that blockchain week? And I suspected it would be more realistic, if you will. I won't say negative, but a lot of the when Lambo people have sort of evaporated and reality hit home, and you got to have something under the covers. You got to have something that's real and translates well into something that you can generate revenue in a real way. Otherwise, what do you have? You know, and that's 99% of blockchain. There are not that many projects out. I won't. Okay, maybe it's 90% or 95%, but the vast majority is just a waste of time. And I think the market. And if you look at, by the way, you look at like family offices, they're getting a lot more sophisticated about what they're doing. And they've always been conservative, but they are very, very much aware, and they're probably smart to sit a lot of it out until now. And I sense that they're now, they played it smart, they stayed out of some things, or a lot of it, and now they're moving more money in over time. So they're actually probably gaining more confidence now. Because there's more signal and less noise. There was a lot of noise around blockchain, and now we're getting signal, and I think that's going to change.
Jim Cramer just sold all his Bitcoin. That's got to be a bottom signal.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I just thank you for reminding us of that. The other thing that I wanted to mention that I saw a news report for our viewers in France. France has the highest level of home invasions for crypto investors. Don't know if you knew that. It is now a big deal, and it's something the industry has to look at, something I've been kind of paying attention to and will in the future.
Oh, but I mean, it's law enforcement refusing to actively do their jobs. They're more worried about if you've been racist online, or heaven forfend you posted a meme that makes fun of somebody because of their genetics or whatever.
Yeah, there's.
I mean, I've posted memes about the evil gingers, and I mean, yeah, if I were to do that back home in the UK, I might go to jail.
It's a very interesting situation, to be sure, but these just doesn't keep this on your radar screen. You know, you start thinking about how you protect your crypto. Security is a big deal, so just keep that in mind. Is there anything else, David?
There really is no need for anybody outside your immediate family to know that you have crypto, and if they don't know how to shut up about that, then there is no need for them to know it either. Because, to quote Forrest Gump, stupid is as stupid does.
Yeah. So, a public service announcement from your friends at Raptoreum. David, any famous last words for this update?
Well,
be nice.
Don't get too close to overladen papaya trees.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a word. These are words of wisdom.
You're still sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're still with us, so that's good. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And questions, comments in the below. Also, you can reach out to us on Discord and Telegram.
Telegram, and we're always happy to talk. And don't be afraid to say hi. I'm usually around. A lot of people are usually around. We just don't say much on our own. But if you need anybody, we're usually only a ping away.
I just wanted to say something. I started getting rewards on. Someone asked a question on a couple of updates ago, or it was the last update that I did about placenode.pro, to get the domain right, about it being a shared node service kind of thing. Well, I started getting my rewards because I put some Raptoreum on it. Started getting rewards. So yes, it does work. Just as an FYI. All right, David.
And yes, he is officially registered as a business. And yes, I do have his details, etc. So it's not somebody who's trying to do anything sketchy. But then again, I mean, there could be legitimate problems along the way, but he's registered, he's set up, he's public.
Doxed.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
doxed.
great. All right, well, thanks much, and we will see you. I don't know if the next one will be live, but one way or the other, we'll do a recording like this one. And
Yeah,
more when we have more to update, we will. And meanwhile, we're hard at work. We may be quiet, but we are busy. That's for sure.
stuff is happening.
Yep, exactly. So more to come. And until next time, I'm Hunter Schultz, Strategic Director of Raptoreum, and to my right, not my left, right? Left. Okay, I think it's my right. Yeah, my
Left,
right
right, I don't
is,
know.
well, the way I'm looking at it, you're on my right. Sorry. Is David
Ah,
Owen
okay.
Morris, who is the
Yeah,
Grand Poobah.
I wouldn't call myself grand. Well, I do rather like that title. Okay.
The Grand Poobah, yeah.
Let's, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
Grand
yeah.
Poobah.
Uh,
We have a new one there. Okay,
yeah,
so thanks, and until next time, cheers.
yeah. Thank you.
There we go. All righty. Well, that worked. We can always